You only need to know me. I will be the one.
The final years of One Piece are really flying by. Like the last few pages of a book, you don't know whether to turn to the next page or set it aside for a while, hoping that these moments will last forever. But if you're here watching this video, then you've decided to keep reading, because all good things end one day. It's really a question as to whether we can predict the ending. The last few arcs have been especially climactic, and Elbaf is no different. The light that Imu is now moving to erase, possibly symbolized by the flame in this mural. The same light that others are trying to bring back. Are there traces of this light erasure across the One Piece story? Clues of hidden sight, one eye shut, the other open, like a door almost closing, or maybe opening. I think so. The erasure or loss of light, leading to darkness. But therein lies a hidden message, as seen on a human scale, from the vantage point of the author Ichiro Oda. A character's shadow self or alternative destiny is illuminated. A destiny that either aligns or conflicts with the light or darkness of their dreams. When the world is turned upside down, inversion, the light can return to fill once empty eyes, restoring darkened hearts, so that the true purpose of a character shines through again, and the side they choose to fight for is decided once and for all, an outcome predicted by Dracula Mihawk. Recently, God's Knight Gunko gave us new insights into the final war. The Giants taking a side in that war supports the theory I've been working on for this video. Taking a look at good and evil, the truth of characters critical to the One Piece ending will finally be revealed as sides solidify for this final war. And Mihawk's future sight is so OD he predicted this outcome. As you watch this video, ask yourself whether what we know about these characters places them more on the side of light or darkness. The possibility that there are deeper layers to unravel, masks under the mask, a face reveal behind the face reveal. And so the factions of the final war are the sides truly decided. Oda loves to remind us that what is seen or heard cannot always be trusted, which takes us to the sponsor of today's video, Aura. I've been receiving a lot of spam calls and texts lately. You can't always trust who's on the other side of the phone, especially as a content creator. I'm sure you agree that getting spam calls is not only annoying, but unsettling. Just the other day, I got a call saying they were from the IRS, and there was a problem with my taxes. They wanted my personal information right away, which was obviously a scam. It's crazy how convincing they try to sound, especially now that we have an artificial intelligence that keeps on improving and getting smarter. I know I get so many spam texts and calls because big companies can't keep our data safe. Recently, there was a national public data breach that exposed customers' personal and private information to the dark web. So, what can you do to protect yourself from hackers and other bad actors? How can you restore trust? Well, I use Aura, the sponsor of this video. Aura will alert me if they find my phone or any other sensitive information has been compromised. And they give me fast fraud alerts if anyone tries to use that data to access my credit or bank accounts. There are so many ways Aura works to keep us safe. I also get things like transaction monitoring, a VPN, antivirus, a password manager, parental controls, and identity theft insurance. I get this all in one app at one affordable price. I can also get their AI-powered call assistant that will pick up unknown calls on my behalf to screen them for spam or scams. Legitimate calls are forwarded to me so I don't miss appointments, deliveries, and emergencies, and it protects me by filtering out known spam numbers and scanning links and messages for any threats. I would never leave myself and my audience vulnerable to data breaches, so if you want to protect yourself too, you can go to aura.com/Vinland, or click the link in the description to try a 2-week free trial, which will be more than enough time to find out which of your data has been compromised. So the One Piece mural that depicts a final battle, a final war against the king of the world, Imu. The characters seen on the mural appear to be on the side of the sun god Nika, or Joy Boy and Luffy. Many have already listed all the characters that appear in this mural that will be a part of Luffy's alliance. The most notable and recent addition being that of the fake sun god Loki. I point this out because it reflects a shift from Loki's originally stated goal, which was to destroy the world. Loki even taking actions that threaten the very island of Elbaf when using his Ragnar hammer against the Atom Tree. But it's increasingly apparent that Loki is not really evil, though labeled the Accursed Prince. Loki is so much more than the darkness of his birth. Like the dawn, there is a light that rises from this initial darkness, redefining Loki's role in the story. It is a light that Luffy is likely to easily sense despite the misgivings of us readers and the giants of Elbaf who continue to view Loki negatively. Loki might not be the real sun god, but the light of the sun god Luffy can still reach him. Luffy once told Rayleigh that how he views a person or engages them, it all comes down to what kind of person they truly are, deep down inside. Sometimes this can only be found out by fighting, exchanging fists. Battle is a means of measuring the spirit or will, the true intentions of your opponent. Are we enemies, adversaries, or could we be allies, maybe even friends? This necessarily links to Katakuri who, like Loki, has similarities to Luffy as a character, a mirror as evidenced during their clash in the mirror world, and so the image of you on the other side is there, with a slight twist of course. What you see in your reflection is not a perfect one-to-one. At first Katakuri appeared to be a villain or antagonist. Now Katakuri seems to have taken a liking to Luffy, or at least there is some admiration for Luffy's confidence in the future. Confidence in the future he has seen. A vision Katakuri might one day follow, if he also joins Luffy's side during the final war. Maybe as the new captain of the Big Mom Pirates, or the Sweet Pirates, which is a terrible name for obvious reasons. The Donut Pirates or Mochi Pirates then. Either way, Katakuri might prove to be another light pulled back from the darkness, or a light that Luffy draws out against, or from actual evil, stretching into the eternal abyss of his opponent to pull them back. Are there any other situations like this that have happened or might still happen, and what might explain this victory of light over darkness? Let's just say charisma. The charisma of the sun god is like gravity, pulling everyone towards it, towards Luffy. The signature characteristic of Luffy was originally pointed out by Kobe in a memory we observed from Drake during Onigashima. How Luffy has this power that pulls people in towards him, a sort of gravitational force befitting his celestially divine status. Luffy is a force to reckon with as surely as the planetary forces of the Gorosei under Imu. What else ties into Kobe's observation of Sun God Luffy's true power being a literal force of nature? Mihawk. Setting aside the much discussed similarities in design when it comes to Mihawk's and Imu's eyes, the hilt of the black Yoru, the black blade Yoru, and the inscriptions on the empty throne, Mihawk has another connection to the ending of One Piece beyond the final villain, predicting the power or force needed to defeat him. I don't think it's a coincidence that Mihawk essentially foresaw the final war of the One Piece series during the biggest war to end part 1 of the One Piece story. Pre-time skip, during Marineford. What happened with Mihawk during that war that is so relevant now? Ah yes, during the Marineford War, Mihawk described Luffy's ability to convert anyone, friend or foe, to his side as the most dangerous or most powerful ability in the entire world. You'll need the greatest power imaginable to conceivably challenge God. Presuming Imu has the power of someone who confidently sits atop the world as if him. No wonder the Elbaf Mural depicts Luffy supported by a massive army of characters he's fought alongside and against in the past. All of them fighting together, combining their abilities and power together, for an outcome we'll just have to wait and see about. For all we know, the power of friendship will not be enough. But Mihawk, said to be the clairvoyant one, Hawkeye's implying eyes like a hawk, capable of seeing great distances, further into the future than some would have thought possible. I don't know if it's been confirmed if Mihawk has future sight or not. I didn't bother to check his Vivery card or SBS or whatever interview Oda might have snuck the material into. But given their rivalry, if Shanks has it, Mihawk probably does too. So sides must be taken in this final war, the side of the Sun God or Sea Devil, assuming Imu is the Sea Devil to oppose Luffy's Sun God. The light versus the darkness. Besides Loki and Katakuri, two other characters that might follow the path of darkness to light are Aokiji and Rob Lucci. Notably, both played a major role in the Water 7 and Enies Lobby arcs during which Nico Robin spoke of being chased by the world and its darkness endlessly, as she sought out the truth and saw the light of history that has been hidden from the world. Nico Robin has an evolving relationship with both characters. At first, Robin was fleeing Aokiji after the destruction of Ohara. He let her go, but essentially committed to hunt her down if she ever returned from her banishment to the shadows, by revealing herself to the world again, that the demon child lives. That light, once again, needed erasing. At first, Robin was working with Cypherpole under the condition that they spare her friends. Her newfound friends. Her newfound family. The Strat Pirates. Back and forth from light to dark, Robin is emblematic of this narrative or thematic tug-of-war. But now she is firmly on the side of the light, no matter who tries to erase it, whether Imu or his gods' knights on Elbaf. Alongside Luffy, Robin will stand in their way. Aokiji showcased flickers of light and the potential to join the side of good, in opposition to the world government that early on, during and in the aftermath of Ohara's burning, sparing Robin's life. But the darkness would quickly return as he chased her early on across the Grand Line. Aokiji is now with Blackbeard, but for how long? Aokiji is free to do whatever he wants. That's what Blackbeard told him. They don't have to like or trust each other. Some would say Aokiji abandoned the shadows of the world government, traded that path for a deeper darkness that lies in the palm of Blackbeard. It's a fitting combination when you think about it. A fitting team-up. The darkest regions of the world tend to be the coldest. Who exactly is manipulating who? If darkness is ultimately what Aokiji chooses, I'm one of those that looks forward to Kobe defeating him as Garp's successor. The one protege that didn't turn out to be a bad egg. If light is what Aokiji chooses, then expect his death and the darkness to win again still, as Blackbeard is more important to Oda's story than Aokiji. While it is said a leopard never changes its spots, and Rob Lucci's name is believed to reference the stealing of light, I discussed the possibility of Lucci changing sides in the video from last year. There are a lot of clues that clash with the notion of Lucci's stubborn persona. For example, what happened to Stussy? Many are right to be skeptical of how Egghead Island ended for Kaku and Lucci, the darkness they swore to destroy. The true face of evil rose from the darkness during Egghead, and after coming face to face with it, it's likely Lucci and Kaku began to question their life choices. This second guessing, the doubt that serves as an ember of hope for a change in the hearts of these and other characters. Continuous sparks. A repeated buildup of doubt leads to a permanent emanation of light. I went over this in that video about Lucci, but the black-colored cloud or sash or belt that wraps around an awakened Lucci and Kaku, as well as the Gorosei and some Holy Knights. Is it possible to change this color from black to white? Or from white to black? From the side of darkness to the side of light? Or from the side of light to the side of darkness? The same white cloud that surrounds Luffy in his sun god transformation. Imagine Lucci becoming a snow leopard, to match Luffy's so-called white warrior. Now let's take a look at the last set of characters that might consider switching sides. But first, as many of you have noticed, for the last year I've largely been away from YouTube. This was for health issues and other issues, and though I've managed to drop a video every now and then, I'm finally glad to be back, or at least making my return, as One Piece is racing towards its ending. And I've always intended to be a part of the community for that. As some of you know, I've also moved into a new studio for the channel, and it's going to require some upgrades for quality, sound, and otherwise. I'm also planning some new channels that I know many of you will enjoy. So if you are a supporter of the channel and want to help out, feel free to make a donation to my PayPal account in the description box below, or join my Patreon for my new Red Piece podcast, where I will be analyzing popular theories from your favorite One Piece content creators, and covering chapters and having other discussions. Anyone that donates will get a big thank you from me in the next video. And so let me give a big thank you to Daskamania, or Rasmus, for the $100 donation a week or two ago. I also appreciate the kind words under my post about being in the hospital again. But don't worry to those that weren't aware of some health issues I've had in the last half year. I think things are fully back to normal now. In the words of the only red hair we acknowledge around here, let's go claim the One Piece. We're back at it. Anyways, given the discussion about Aokiji shifting allegiances, we have to also consider Akainu and Kizaru. Recall the events of Egghead Island. Kizaru went to eliminate Vegapunk, a dear old friend of his. Along with this came Sentomaru and others. Then think of Akainu's words to Kuma, more like a rant fueled by personal frustration with oneself. Everything Akainu accused Kuma of being can be redirected as if one of Gunko's faded arrows. Everything Akainu accused Kuma of being can be redirected to apply to Akainu as well. Akainu has become a slave, a human puppet of the very evil his absolute justice should be out to destroy. Imagine the sense of shame betrayal Akainu will feel when he realizes this. Well, if he realizes it. It's Oda's story after all. Akainu exploding like a volcano has long been theorized by One Piece fans. The exact reason why Oda might have given him this very devil fruit power. The red line exploded by the mad red dog finally biting his master's hand. Headcanon, but the kind of headcanon we like. This very rage could reflect how Egghead Island ended for Kizaru. The rage Kizaru felt over Akainu, questioning the clarity of Kizaru's sense of justice. Unclear justice. Unclear allegiance. The aftermath of Egghead should have made it very clear where Kizaru stands. But the future can always provide room for renewed clarity. In a recent chapter, Enel was mentioned. If Enel comes back from the moon, which side will Enel be on? Could Enel have learned something about the sun god Nika up there on the moon? Recall the prophecy of the Mural and mention of the moon people dreaming during the second world, as well as the half-moon people. Do you think this Mural ties into the Mural Enel saw on the moon? Is the Mural Enel saw in any way connected to the most recent one? There are similar depictions in each. Or could something about Imu Narona be mentioned on the moon? What will Enel think about the moon? The cold rock that is drifting through outer space, like the giants of Elbaf during the winter solstice. Will Enel in outer space have reason to give thanks to the sun also? For without the sun, this world would be so cold, a frozen wasteland, instead of the beautiful bounty that Varth or Earth has to offer as seen from the blue planet, planet Earth. From Enel's vantage point in space, it has long been said that when people travel to outer space and they look down upon the planet Earth, they gain new appreciation for its beauty, and they reflect on its rarity, the rarity of life. This one world we all have. The very Varth he worships in opposition to the sea, which might reflect opposition to the sea devil Imu. God's Knight Shamrock was partially an inspiration for this idea of light and dark characters, given his brother Shanks is good and Shamrock is evil. Some have pointed out Gunko is more human than the other God's Knights, and there is the popular theory going around that Gunko might be a former Revolutionary Army member, Ginny, or even Luffy's mother. And so why not also a member of the Gorosei? Briefly, the theory of Saint Jupiter, betraying Imu, full name Shepherd Jupiter, Judas or Peter, maybe both in one. Shepherd as in guiding sheep, and so the flock, towards a belief or side. Currently Imu's side, but maybe Luffy's in the future. Saint Jupiter is also a worm or sandworm, the sort of insect or bug the Gorosei Saturn and others look down upon. A reminder of Sanji's family, the evil Germa 66, foreshadowing some gods' knights like Ichiji and Shamrock, or pre-time skip Sanji expressing his hatred of insects too. Kuma revealing there was a church or religion that once worshipped the sun god like Jesus. As we see a cross symbol, a crucifix, we can assume the sun god or joy boy was crucified in the past. Peter is known for being a leader of Jesus' 12 apostles, the 12 disciples. Peter denied Jesus 3 times after Jesus was arrested, but would come to lead the early church after Jesus' death. Maybe there is some history between Jupiter and the sun god Nika, just like Gunko. Maybe the new world speaks to Peter's heart too. It's fitting we end the video by going from the Holy Land back to Elbaf given current events. Recently we were told that whoever has the giants on their side will win. Shamrock wanted Loki to join the world government under the reigns of King Imu, given what Gunko said about the giants playing a major role during the final war, seeming to give the advantage to the side that wins the giants over. Imagine each side has a different set of giants, good and bad, peaceful and war-hungry. The new ways versus the old, as we were told about by the giants. Ancient and modern, dreams colliding with destiny. Loki siding with Luffy in the Elbaf Mural of the final war suggests Luffy will win over the giants as Loki is supposed to be their heir to the throne. The giants should then follow Loki, and Luffy in turn. Loki and the giants in the Mural have chosen the sun god. They've chosen the side of light to confront the ultimate darkness in their world. But as usual, we will have to wait and see. Don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter at the following address at VillainRagnar. My Twitter page is on the screen. If you want to support future videos on this channel, you can check out my PayPal if you want to make a donation. And feel free to join my Patreon. where your paid monthly membership can get you early access to a new podcast I'm starting called the Red Piece Podcast. I would like to have some of you viewers on there as well, down the road. The podcast will cover chapters, theories, and ideas from your favorite One Piece creators. As always, there's more to come. Until next time.
Valhalla!